Hello and Happy New Year, everybody. I am Rusty Peace, and this is the Railsplitter Athletics Report. Glad to have you with us on this 2015 evening throughout the tri-state area and beyond. We've got a lot to talk about. It is spring semester 2015 on the Lincoln Memorial University campus. Now, with that, we know that men's and women's basketball are in full swing, but I can tell you that there's a lot more sports getting ready to get underway. And we'll talk about that briefly tonight, but right now the LMU men's and women's basketball teams are engulfed in the South Atlantic Conference race. The LMU men at the top of the league standings, number 4 nationally ranked in the latest NABC poll, and of course they are still undefeated at 13-0 heading into this weekend's battle with Wingate on the road, and of course home games next week. Lady Railsplitters in a fight. They have been under the weather as far as the health goes and the injuries throughout the team, but they're battling through it, and we're going to talk with Crystal Evans about that. We'll take this break, and we'll be back here on the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
We have a big problem, and we need your help.
It's happening on college campuses, at bars, at parties, even in high schools.
It's happening to our sisters and our daughters,
our wives and our friends.
It's called sexual assault, and it has to stop.
We have to stop it. So listen up.
If she doesn't consent, or if she can't consent, it's rape, it's assault.
It's a crime. It's wrong.
If I saw it happening, I was taught you have to do something about it.
If I saw it happening, I speak up.
If I saw it happening, I'd never blame her. I'd help her.
Because I don't want to be a part of the problem.
I want to be a part of the solution.
We need all of you to be part of the solution. This is about respect. It's about responsibility.
It's up to all of us to put an end to sexual assault. And that starts with you.
Because one is too many.
Hey everybody! Heart disease affects 1 in every 3 women in America, but you can fight back. There's no time to lose. Mothers, sisters, daughters, families, and friends, it's time to shout louder, stand stronger, and demand change. Let's go!
To the Batmobile. Dang it.
To the invisible jet! Dang it. Together, we can put an end to heart disease. It's time to go red for women. I could use your help. Yeah! Learn more from the American Heart Association at www.goredforwomen.org.
If you love your car or truck, let us help you keep it clean at Soapy J. Soapy J's has unlimited wash plans to fit every budget. Try our $5 express wash or one of our 3 monthly wash plans. The Wheel Deal, the Soapy J, or the new Blast Wax. With our monthly wash plans, if you pay with credit card, all you do is pay for the present month and your card will be billed on the 1st of each month. Don't forget, Soapy J's has free vacuums with any wash. Soapy J's Express Car Wash, open 7 days a week. Let us help keep your car or truck clean at Soapy J's. Soapy J's on the Cumberland Gap Parkway, Middlesboro.
Welcome back to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. Josh Schertz and the Lincoln Memorial University men's basketball team now 13-0 on the 2014-15 season. Well, they're ranked number 4 in the latest NABC poll released Tuesday afternoon. Number 1 in the NCAA South region, number 1 in the South Atlantic Conference. And Coach, this team just continues to amaze. They played an incredible, let's say, 34 minutes in the game on Wednesday night here at home, first game at home of 2015, and I see this team really having an opportunity to do something special this year.
Well, certainly, I was pleased with with how we competed and how we executed on both ends of the floor. Obviously, I thought we did a really nice job of both those things, and that really what kind of leads into winning. Who can compete and execute the longest over 40-minute time frame. I thought defensively we were really tuned in, made things difficult for them, did a good job of fighting their bigs for position, did a great job of contesting them from the perimeter. And we caught Anderson maybe on certainly not one of their best nights, so we were a little bit fortunate there. But proud of how we played. Certainly thought we took a step forward from the Lenore-Ryan game. Wasn't as pleased there. Still things obviously we got to work on, improve. Rebounding second half was porous. Rebounding the whole Lenore-Ryan game was porous. Gave up 13 offensive rebounds the last 2 games. So things to work on, but so far pleased with how hard they're working and what they're doing.
I think when you look at how the Railsplitters have played this year, if you're an opposing coach and you're scouting to play your team, they know that you've got extreme depth at the guard position, and I think that was the strength of the win. We mentioned that in the post game on Wednesday night. You've got great inside play as well. You've got depth there. But ultimately, one of the only ways that you're going to have a chance of defeating this team is if you get in there and mix it up and hopefully control the boards. And, you know, it's very rare that we get beat on the boards. We did against Lenore-Rhine, but I thought Anderson gave it a good shot and went toe-to-toe with us there as well.
Yeah, I thought, you know, I thought from a physicality standpoint, Lenore-Rhine, when we played them, was a much more physical, much more aggressive team on Saturday. I thought in the first half we were the more physical team. Second half, I thought it wasn't quite the same from that standpoint. But you know, there's no doubt that rebound the basketball and creating extra possessions and you know, limiting them to one shot, those are things that go into winning, and we needed to make sure, obviously, that we shore that up, because going into the Christmas break, we were #1 in the country in rebounding margin, and coming out, you know, we get out rebounded Lenore-Rhine. I think we were +1 on the backboards last night, so room to grow there, and obviously we can still shore up a lot of different things on both sides of the ball.
Perimeter game really picked up on Wednesday night as well. Luquan Choice was selected one of our Old Town Grill players of the game. He and, of course, Dorian Pinson, the man-child freshman that has come in and has worked his way into a starting role and just gives so much energy on the floor every time he gets out there.
Yeah, Dorian is certainly a guy that is turned up every day to practice, to play. He's bouncing off the walls on a day-to-day basis. So, you know, he's really done a great job as a freshman, you know, coming in and competing and playing minutes. And he's got to develop a level of consistency, but I'm really proud of kind of his growth here over the year. And he's a big piece for us. You know, he allows us, you know, you and I talk about the post game, you know, that he allows us to play big and play small at the same time. And that's really a unique thing. And certainly you mentioned Luquan Choice. Lou, I thought, has just been unbelievable for us, both sides of the ball all year long. He's just been phenomenal. I think he's not only one of the best players in the league, but certainly one of the best in the country in the backcourt. And I thought Lorenzo Ross last night, 14 points, 14 assists, 6 rebounds. You know, you're looking at that stat line and how he lived in the lane, and he gets those guys easy shots. They're able to play off him, and he's doing a lot of heavy lifting as well, and he's just been fantastic for us as well. So those two guys have been mainstays, and then we've been able to kind of do a great job of filling around them with, it seems like, almost different guys every single time.
Definitely, we don't want to leave Lorenzo Ross out. 14 assists is well beyond what I've seen any LMU guard hand out in a single game in quite some time. Coach, you know, if you look at the latest NABC standings, and we don't have them posted here today, but there's no other South Atlantic Conference teams ranked right now. I know Newberry's receiving votes. They're just on the bubble. They're trying to get back in. Their only loss is to us as of right now. But toward the end of the 25, you look at the teams throughout the region who are ranked. Mount Olive is in there. I think Lander's in there. I think there's
Pembroke.
another one.
UNC Pembroke.
UNC Pembroke. So there is some extreme talent right now in the NCAA Southeast region, but we've still got a lot of business to take care of before we can even think about regional tournament play. We're trying to win a SAC regular season championship. Yeah,
I mean, it's you know, there has to be a you know, obviously, you know, from our standpoint, you know, we don't look at that a whole lot. You know, you certainly notice what's going on around you. I think in the coaches poll, Newberry is ranked, and you have 5 or 6 teams in the Southeast region that are in the top 25. When you look at the NABC poll, I think Newberry's 26. So you got 5 teams in the top 26. So, you know, certainly the region has great depth and a lot of tremendous teams. You know, the thing that we've got to continue to focus on is what we always do, and is that's trying to be the best team we can be, and to move, you know, and put all our attention on the next game, and just stay kind of in the moment. You know, I tell the guys all the time, you know, it doesn't make any sense to, you know, for us to kind of live in the past and worry about what's happened or what's to happen. You know, you got to kind of be where your feet are and focus on the task at hand. And it's when you look ahead or get bogged into those external things around you that bad things happen. When you're able to stay kind of in the moment and focus on what you got to do to prepare well and play well in that game, you learn from it, you improve, win or lose, move past it, and the only game that matters is the next one. I always tell guys during the season, as long as there's basketball ahead of you, it makes no sense to get overly excited about a win or overly depressed about a loss, because the only game that really matters, you know, is the next one. And so we'll learn from the Anderson game, things we did well, things we did poorly, and then the whole deal is to move past that and to get focused on the next game, and that's the only one that we can have any control over now.
Well, the next game, the task at hand, whatever cliche you prefer, that's going to be Brian Good and, of course, the Bulldogs of Wingate on Saturday. Wingate, Cuddy Arena, always a tough place to play. They're a very similar structured team to what we are. They're very well coached, but they are also more dangerous at this particular time because they are coming in after back-to-back losses.
Yeah, they're you know, Brian's teams have always, I think, have been their best in the end of the season, the postseason. They've won the conference tournament twice in the last 4 years and had great success February, March, because I think they do things that lead to winning. They're always very sound defensively, great rebounding, have size and athleticism. It'll be a great test for us. We're going to have to go down and be really focused and unbelievable in terms of our concentration. And it's a game usually with Wingate where you got two teams that are very aggressive, very physical. We got to come out, and like you said, with them coming off a couple losses, expect their physicality, their aggressiveness, their sense of desperation to be turned up. We'll have to play at a really high level and a very physical game to have a chance to have success down there.
Coach, whether you're a sergeant, a colonel, a general, you don't like to go into battle with one shoe on, one off, so to speak. Right now, we've still got a couple of guys who are hampered with, you know, the ailments of the weather and the time of year it is, a couple with injuries. What's the status for everybody going into Saturday's matchup, and will they be up to snuff to suit up?
Well, I hope. You know, we were without, you know, Curtis Webb, is battling plantar fasciitis. It's one of those things that, you know, comes and goes, and it's obviously was bad early in the year, got great, and then it's bad again right now. Hopefully they're working on him. C.J. Wakely's an ankle sprain. We're hoping to have him back Saturday. I put both those guys at questionable, and Tim Pierce is just sick. So, you know, and so, you know, I would put him as probable. But, you know, we definitely need those three guys. It's hard when you take three rotation guys out of your rotation. I know the girls are going through a similar deal with some of their best players. But, you know, it's hard when you lose guys. So, you know, hopefully we can get back to full strength and you know, get back kind of into a rhythm. And hopefully we'll see all three of those guys on the floor on Saturday. That's my hope.
Coach, got a little less than 30 seconds. I know you don't like to focus on this type thing, but I have to go back to it again. Your win over Anderson on Wednesday solidified you as a top 25 ranked team for another week. You're now tied for the 6th longest all-time streak of Division II teams to be ranked in that category. That's got to be something you're proud of.
We're proud of it. Certainly, you know, I don't take it for granted. You know, the nature of the beast is it'll you know, end sometime. But very proud of the people and the work they've done to put us in this situation.
Coach, good luck Saturday.
Thanks, Russ.
All right, again, Josh Schertz and the Railsplitters. A 4 o'clock tip-off on Saturday, and pregame coverage will carry over from the women's broadcast. We'll take this time out. We'll be back with more on the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
You make me wear my bike helmet. You taught me never to run with scissors.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt.
And to follow the swimming rules.
You're always looking out for me and trying to keep me safe.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
Here in the garage.
Closet. Shoebox under the bed.
Where anyone can get to it. How safe is that?
How safe is that?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. If you own a firearm and are not using it, please be responsible and be sure that it's stored in a safe place. Remember, always lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org.
You can be a hero by being prepared for an emergency. First, make a plan. Call a family meeting to plan for things like how to connect with loved ones after an emergency.
There.
Or your escape route.
I am not fast.
Build a kit. When disaster strikes, it's important to have enough supplies to last 3 days. And don't forget the batteries.
Low battery.
Number 3, know the facts. From blackouts to floods, no matter the emergency, the more you know about it, the better you can deal with it.
You're gonna need some upgrades.
Number 4, get involved. Lend a hand. In your community. to help others know their role in an emergency.
You guys, do you feel this? We're gonna be heroes!
You can be a hero by being prepared.
Yes!
Visit ready.gov/kids for more preparedness tips.
Welcome back to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. Crystal Evans, head coach of the Lady Railsplitters, joins us on set now. And, of course, the LMU women will also be in action this coming Saturday when they move over to Wingate, North Carolina to take on the Bulldogs. And, you know, Bulldogs really right now are up there at the top of the South Atlantic Conference race. A couple of big wins over the past week. And, Coach, I know that it's been a tough ride out of, let's say, about December 17th of 2014 and here into the new year.
It has, you know, Wingate, they're actually the complete end of the total opposite end of the spectrum of us right now. They're coming off win number 4. We're coming off loss number 4. And, you know, it's, I mean, I'm not upset. I've actually been very pleased with our players. We've had some adversity on our team with injuries and that sort of thing and illness, but you know, we're still moving in the right direction. We've had to completely change a lot of the things that we're doing defensively and offensively, and the girls are making adjustments. And actually, I was very pleased with how we played against Anderson. There were multiple times our team could have folded in that game, and we didn't. We kept fighting back and fighting back and fighting back. And at the end of the day, I felt like, you know, did we come out with a victory? No, but I do feel like we got better. And now, you know, with the new defense that we're running and the new offense that we're running, we just got to make a couple more adjustments to perfect them, because, again, those girls only had 4 practices before they had to come out there and play against Anderson and put it into effect. And you know, we're gonna bounce back. We're moving in the right direction now, and we're gonna bounce back.
And Coach, I gotta come to your defense a little bit on that statement, because you know, yeah, you've lost 4 in a row, but let's look at it in reality. I mean, it's not as though the wheels have come off in the midst of movement. You're looking at a team right here that has undergone more physical injuries than I can remember one coach having to deal with in any one particular season. And this, we're not even halfway through the year at this point. Add to that the croup, is what I like to call it, throughout the tri-state area, when people are catching the flu bug or the stomach virus or whatever they get throughout the season. Man, that's a tough thing to deal with. You've had them both at one time, and I think the other day, when we talked on Monday, you told me that on Sunday when you guys practiced, you had to, I think you had 7 players dressed out, and you and your assistants had to come out there and help just have a full 10 on the floor to scrimmage. And,
you know, not taking anything away from Chandler and Brooke, because they were both very, very good players collegiately, but my college days are long gone, so I don't know how much better that made our team. But it's kind of one of those things that you look at and you say, you know, God doesn't put more on us than what we can handle, but I sure wish He didn't trust me so much right now.
Nobody ever said He wouldn't test you, so in any case, that's probably what's happening. Coach, let's go back to Wednesday night's game when you had Anderson here. Now, that was a game that we played down in Anderson, South Carolina the first time. I think it lost a 5-point decision. It was very, very close. Wednesday night's game looked like it was going to be a landslide in favor of the Trojans. I think they went up by 18 on a couple of occasions, but I saw in the second half from your squad more heart, more effort, and more guts and determination than I've seen quite possibly in all the games combined this year. And they got back in, and I think they tied the ball game up late in the contest.
Well, one thing about adversity, it's going to bring out your character. And I tell you what, we got a good group of girls, and they're fighting. They're fighting back. And, you know, I'm telling you, right now, we're in a rut, so to speak, as far as, you know, things just aren't going our way, and we're not picking up the wins. But down the stretch in tournament time, sometimes going through these moments during the season, it really does help you during those tournament time, you know, because you're going to have to fight through adversity, whether it be, you know, calls not going your way, or whether the shots just not falling. You're going to have to fight through those things to really win in tournament time. And I'm just, you know, choosing to be positive and hoping that there is a reason that we're going through this, and it's going to help us later on in the future.
Now, folks, again, I want to point out, although it was a loss, I want to point out the fact that in that loss to Anderson on Wednesday, when they came back from 18 points down, they're playing without Stephanie Smith, who could possibly be lost for the season with a knee injury. I think we had Megan Pittman, who's kind of coming off having the illnesses from the time of year. You had Kiara Rawls, who was still dealing with that type thing. You had Brittany Guy, who was still dealing with that type thing. Ashley Pritchett might not have been 100% because I think she's had it this past week too. So you had a team that was hobbled and jumping around, yet they still fought back. And again, you mentioned it a minute ago, that shows a lot of integrity.
It does, and it just speaks to the heart of these girls. I mean, you know, it's not we don't have a team that's just going to lay down. They're going to keep fighting back, and they're going to do the things that they need to do, and it just shows their heart.
All right. All that said, we've still got a season to play ahead of us. You're 7-5 now, I think. 7-6. 7-6. All right.
7-5 sounds better though.
Well, hey, we're going to do something about that this weekend. 7-6. You're going on the road now for one game before you come back here into the Tex Turner Arena for a couple of nights. Unfortunately, you're going to face one of the top teams in the league, if not the top team in the league, in Wingate University. So, with what you have now that are uninjured, with what you have that are starting to recuperate from their illnesses, what are we working on here in the next couple of days in preparation for that date with the Bulldogs?
Well, again, we've made some adjustments, and now we got to perfect those adjustments, and that's what we're looking to do the next few days, preparing for Wingate. Like I said, they're hitting a hot streak right now. They've won 4 straight. They're the only team that has beaten Carson Newman, and they actually beat them at their place. So they're just really playing great basketball right now, and we're going into their home territory, and which kind of gives everybody a little bit more pep in their step. But our girls, we're going to correct the things we need to correct, and we're going to give it our all when we get down there in Wingate. And I'm looking forward to pulling out with a victory.
Nobody's ever accused me of being an optimist. I can tell you that right now. Now, I will say this optimistically. I think that we still have a great chance throughout the rest of the season to finish strong. Now, that said, before the year began, when we looked at what we had in terms of personnel for this year's team, I felt like this team was deeper than I'd seen possibly in a decade and a half. They had more talent than I'd seen in a decade and a half. They had more athleticism than I'd seen in a decade and a half. Now, all that said, the irony of the whole thing is now you look at it, and with the injury bug that has kicked in, you're really down to what we have as not a skeleton crew, but I think we have a lot less margin for error than we had at the beginning of the year.
No, you're absolutely correct. Obviously, we can't get in foul trouble because we're down bodies and everything. But the one thing I will say is I've been very pleased with our depth in the fact that they've had to step up. Now that we've got injuries and stuff, that our bench has really had to step up. And you got Shay Coker coming in there knocking down big shots the other night. You got Ashley Pritchett coming in and giving us some offense. So we've got people that aren't used to getting many minutes coming in and doing a good job. And now it's giving them some experience, giving them some time. And a lot of people have to look at the game in that scenario too. The ones that are getting 25 plus minutes have been averaging 6 to 7 up to this point, and now that we have had injuries and we have had illness, they're really having a lot thrown at them at this moment, and some of them are even playing out of position. And so again, I just really respect these players and the fact that they've been able to overcome a lot of the different things that we've had to throw at them, and the fact that they're keeping their fire. And I'm telling you, last night or the Anderson game, it did not discourage our players a bit. They're still fired up, and any other team would really be folding in right now. And our team is just getting fired up, and they're making the adjustments, and they're coming back every day, and they're working hard. And for nothing else, I'm happy with that.
A lot of basketball yet to be played, and of course, 13 games into a 28-game schedule. We've still got half the season to go, all of which is conference schedule, so that means we can still make strong moves up the ladder. A lot of things are going to play out. A lot of things are going to sort their way out through interconference play. And that said, you just really can never tell where LMU will finish. Right now we're in the 5 spot. Wingate's up at the top, but still got 2 meetings counting this Saturday, and hopefully that'll turn out in Lady Railsplitters' favor. Coach, very quickly, obviously you're going to tip off at 2 o'clock on Saturday, Cuddy Arena. I know this is your first trip over there. Very historical gymnasium. Johnny Jocumen, who no longer there, but an icon in the South Atlantic Conference in college basketball for so long, kind of set the precedence. And, Wingate is a program that is a lot like Lincoln Memorial. They want to be up there at that upper echelon.
Well, it's going to be a good test for our team. They play a different type of defense that we haven't faced all season long. They play a 1-2-2 in the half court, and so we got to make some adjustments and the different shot opportunities that we're going to be able to take against them. So it's going to be a challenge, and again, like I said, they do things that we have not faced up to this point, even offensively and defensively. So, you know, it's going to be a good challenge, and I'm looking forward to it.
Coach, good luck.
Thank you.
All right. Again, Crystal Evans and the Lady Railsplitters tip off at 2 o'clock. We'll have pregame coverage beginning at 1:40 on the LMU Sports Network. I'm going to take it one more time out. We'll be back to close the show. This is the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
At Citizens Bank, we're different from everyone else. We've proudly served business communities of Northeast Tennessee since 1912 and have security you can count on. We offer the convenience of internet banking, excellent loan services on various types of loans, cash management, and small business banking at all of our convenient locations in Harrogate, Tazewell, New Tazewell, Bean Station, and Morristown. Visit our website to find out more at citizensbanktn.com. Citizens Bank, no more banking as usual.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
From commercial to residential, from the basement to the attic, Knoxville Drywall can deliver full-service drywall, insulation, and paint contracting. Knoxville Drywall specializes in new and tenant build-outs, drywall repair, drywall grids, metal stud framing, acoustical ceilings, suspended drywall ceilings, and ceiling and wall texturing and painting. Knoxville Drywall also provides wall-blown insulation for existing walls, attic-blown insulation, wall and ceiling batts insulation, and crawlspace insulation. Knoxville Drywall Incorporated, serving Knoxville and the surrounding area for more than 56 years with outstanding quality and competitive pricing.
Whether institutional case good or architectural woodwork, Nolan Products Incorporated of Knoxville has been serving East Tennessee, Southwest Virginia, and Southeast Kentucky since 1958. From concept to finish, Nolan Products custom builds to the highest quality standards to meet your facility specifications while using only the finest materials available. Nolan Products has been serving and meeting the needs and requirements of general contractors and architects in East Tennessee and surrounding area for more than 55 years. Nolan Products Incorporated, 912 Forsyth Street Northeast, Knoxville.
Special thanks to my guests tonight, Josh Schertz of the Lincoln Memorial University men's basketball team and Crystal Evans of the Lady Railsplitter basketball team, both of which in action this coming Saturday. Again, we've told you 2 and 4 o'clock tip-off. They'll return to the friendly confines of the Tex Turner Arena on Wednesday night and again next Saturday. So a few straight home games for the LMU basketball teams, and we ask that you come out and show your support for both of those squads. Speaking of that, it is spring semester, as we alluded to early in the show, and we've got a lot of sports getting ready to get cranked up. Ryan Kuhn and the Lincoln Memorial University lacrosse program, the men's lacrosse program, getting started in early February on the road down in Georgia. They'll play practically the entire month of February at home, though. It's the first year of collegiate lacrosse at Lincoln Memorial, and we really need a strong start, so we ask that you come out and show support for them, as well as the women's lacrosse program. Coach Karasi and her program getting cranked up in February as well. Don't forget baseball. Hey, Jeff Sixai and the LMU baseball team will get started in February, along with the softball program. Natalie Layden and her team this year vying for a SAC championship. LMU tennis teams, Benny Collins and his teams getting cranked up, as well as the golf programs, Travis Muncie and the LMU men's and women's golf teams. We got a lot to talk about, folks, in the next few weeks, so come join us, whether it's here on campus or on the LMU Sports Network. That's all for tonight. Until next week, I'm Rusty Peace. Good night, everybody.